Hey, Bourbon family, welcome back to Whiskey Phoenix, where smooth is optional and fire is mandatory. Happy Sunday, fun day. How are we doing today, fam? I know I'm sad that it's already the end of the weekend, but all good things must come to an end and back to work on Monday. I'm coming to you today with something slightly different. If you followed along in my journey in New Orleans, you saw that I went to one of my favorite places that sits on Bourbon Street, and it's appropriately called Bourbon House. Now, I was really happy that they had, changed up their flights, which doesn't surprise me, honestly, that they did, and that there were different ones for me to try this time when I was in New Orleans. If you ever get down to New Orleans, please visit Bourbon House. I had the pleasure of meeting the manager, Susie. She was a delight. I had signed up for their Bourbon of the Month club a while ago in 2023 when I was first there. So I got a chance to sample their Bourbon of the Month for February, which happens to be Knob Creek 9-year. And she was nice enough to give me some additional pours on top of that, all at no extra charge. And because of that, I made sure that, I got a flight the first day I was there, and then I returned for a second trip as well. Didn't get there 3 times like I did the first time, but, hey, it's all good as long as I got there. So what I wanted to do was kind of go over what I did get to try at Bourbon House, and I took all the notes while I was trying them, and just kind of let you guys know I am currently enjoying a little Penelope Valencia out of my Bottle to Bond glass that I got. And if y'all know about Bottle to Bond and Brian, these are great little travel cups. No, I'm not a paid sponsor at all where this is concerned. Just shouting out something that I was really excited to get. You all know that the logo, is measuring, half ounce, 1 ounce, 1.5, 2 ounces. So yeah, I'm enjoying a little Penelope Valencia. And I also happen to have on the back of the glass from Patrick. Go support him. He sent me and created some really nice stickers, Whiskey Phoenix stickers. So go show your support to both of those guys. That Penelope Valencia is so good. Anyway, I digress. So let's dive into it. So, one of the ones that I got to try in the flights was a 7-year Dark Arts finished in a Madeira wine cask. This was a straight bourbon whiskey coming in at 112.8 proof. On the nose for me, it was sweet. I got apricot and rye spice. On the palate, it was peppery. I was kind of surprised that I got dark fruits on the palate after getting an apricot, which is a stone fruit. I got baking spice and even like some black raspberry. The finish, that dark fruit stayed with me. The baking spice stayed with me. And I felt that the finish was long and there was some brown sugar to it. I have not had much from Dark Arts. I did pick up a bottle from Dark Arts when I was down at BourbonCon last month. It just has not come up on the wheel of whiskey to review it yet. And every time I happened to be, thinking I wanted to stop by their booth at BourbonCon, they were, I guess, off doing a presentation or something. So I really enjoyed this Madeira wine cask finish. And on the Whiskey Phoenix rating scale, and yes, I did rate them while I was down there, this came in at a Phoenix. This is bold. And of course, I have a cat jumping up here. So this is bold and memorable. I really enjoyed it. And it's just so happened that Susie poured it for me. And then she poured exactly what was coming out of the flight that I had decided to get from Bourbon House. The The next time I visited, and these are all kind of in a staggered order. So the second visit, I did Four Roses single barrel, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey coming in at 100 proof. On the nose for me, it was really light with some vanilla and dark fruit. On the palate, it was spicy, some honey. Again, it was kind of weird that I got dark fruit on the nose, but then on the palate, it kind of switched over to stone fruit. I got some hints of brown sugar and oak. The finish was medium for me, with vanillas, subtle spice, and dried cherries. I know I might get some grief for this, fam, but in all honesty, and I have not had a lot out of Four Roses. I had a handshake from a friend last year. But for me, just for their single barrel, this came in at an ember. It's kind of barely alive for me, if I'm being honest, fam. You know, don't hate too much, but that's just my honest take on it. The next one I got to try was Hidden Barn Small Batch. Never heard of them. It's a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. On the nose, it was sweet with some vanilla custard, some honey, and even some pear. On the palate, that honey carried over from the nose. I got some caramel, even some nougat, like in a Milky Way bar or Snickers bar. Slight hint of white pepper, but I don't know how else to describe it, so I just put in my notes. It was like bready, like eating a piece of bread or something as well. I got on the palate. The finish was spicy, with some cinnamon and some toasted oak. Now for me, this came in at a flame as solid and dependable. Again, I got to try the bourbon of the month, which was the Knob Creek 9-year. Now I had tried Knob Creek's 21 at Bourbon Con, and fam, I just was not a fan of it at all. I was not impressed. This is a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. On the nose for me, I got caramel, vanilla, brown sugar, and baking spice. On the palate, I got toffee, dark chocolates, some peanuts, some cinnamon, and some slight oak. And the finish for me on this was medium with some vanilla, caramel, and slight oak. This came in at 100 proof. And fam, this came in at a flame for me as well. It was solid and dependable. Then I got around to Maker's Mark Private Selection Chapter 2, I think, or 11. I couldn't really see or tell what it was supposed to be on the menu. I didn't know if they were using a Roman numeral for 2 or if it was actually the number 11. This was a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey as well. For me, I got some peanuts, cinnamon, and toffee on the nose. On the palate, it was spicy. And in my note, I put spicy like the cinnamon candies, the Red Hot. Y'all remember those? I got some vanilla, and it was warm on the way down, is also in my notes. The finish for me was medium. That cinnamon was just kind of there all the way through, and I got some vanilla on the finish as well. I did not make a note of what the proof was on that. I'm kind of disappointed in myself, but I rated this one as well, the Maker's Mark Private Selection Chapter 2 or 11, as a flame, again, solid and dependable. Then I got to try a rye, I think, or maybe it's RY3 14-year light whiskey. It was a single barrel cask strength limited edition. For me, on the nose, I got like toasted marshmallow, not like the burnt marshmallows where you've overdone it. It was just toasted marshmallow, along with some orange peel and baking spice. On the palate, I got cinnamon, vanilla, caramel, and just a slight hint. It was slightly spicy for me. The finish was medium. That slightly spiciness on the palate stayed with me on the finish. I got some oak and even some orange peel on the palate. It came in at 130.4 proof. Again, this was a flame, solid and dependable bourbon. And then I also got to try a Wilderness Trail DBC selection. It was just labeled as a bourbon whiskey. On the nose, it was slightly smoky with some vanilla. The palate was warm, a little spicy, and kind of like, I don't know, like stewed apples. So a little bit of cinnamon there as well. And then the finish was just short, but it was kind of interesting that I got like a peanut brittle finish on it. I have to say, out of all of them, this one came in at an ash for me with no life. It's not something that I would consider memorable for me. It's the first time I've had anything out of Wilderness Trace. With this being a DBC selection, I'm guessing it was a barrel pick of some sort. So just wasn't impressed with it, fam. Now, if you saw some of my videos I posted, you know I got to try the Sazerac 125 proof. I will be doing a separate review on that. Hopefully it comes up on the Wheel of Whiskey soon because I really enjoyed that one. So there you have it, fam. Some of the various bourbons I got to try while I was at the Bourbon House. Fam, if you are partaking on this Sunday fun day, happy Sunday. As always, please drink responsibly. And remember, stay sharp, stay burning, rise again, and I'll see you in the next one.